They say that those who die, there is a way they watch over us, we that are alive. And if that is the case, then Raila Amolo Odinga will never be happy with what is happening with the ODM party. It is chaos after chaos, drama after drama inside ODM party. Now, what is happening right now, it may force the Odinga family to get out of ODM and maybe join Sifuna. Because if they get out of ODM, there are two options. They will not join William Ruto because William Ruto and ODM is one thing. Therefore, they will either join alternative government that belongs, let's say, belongs to Rigathi Gachagua, or join Edwin Watenya Sifuna. Chances of joining Rigathi Gachagua are minimal, close to zero. But chances of joining Edwin Watenya Sifuna are so high. This is because Sifuna was held with regard by Raila Odinga, the Odinga family by extension, and even you could see at some point how Ida Odinga could hug Edwin Sifuna. They've come a long way. They respect him. So chances of them going and joining Edwin Sifuna are very high. Tell me why Ruth Odinga, who is the Kisumu woman representative, would attack Oparanya and the rest who want to be the deputy president. Tell me. You know, this has come at the verge of the negotiations whereby Junet Mohammed and, the likes of Simba Arati were rooting for Wycliffe Ambassa Oparanya to be the running mate of President William Ruto in the broad-based government. But now today, a video has emerged of Ruth Odinga. I really don't know the time when this video was shot, but I believe it was shot recently, because she's here saying that there is no one who can become the presidential candidate of a party if he or she is not the party leader. And she went further saying only those who are party leaders of particular parties, are, especially in ODM, are allowed to be the presidential candidate, and therefore urged those who are saying that they want to be presidential aspirants come 2027, therefore they should go back to the constitution, hold an NDC to change that constitution. Here, he was talking about presidential aspirant, but in the real sense, we understand that she was referring to the deputy or the running mate. That is, if the party leader does not go for the presidential seat, then he will be the running mate of someone. That is a conversation that is ongoing in ODM, and so far it has managed to divide the larger ODM into subdivisions. I want you to listen to what Ruth Odinga said. I'll come back with more analysis.
The presidential candidate must be the party leader of the party. We cannot therefore talk about somebody else being a presidential candidate, yet the party leader who's supposed to be the candidate is there. And I'm not afraid to say things, because the truth must be said and it will not rot. The truth will remain. Party leader in the constitution. Let us sit down, have an NDC, change the constitution, and say that anybody else can become a party leader, a presidential candidate, if it is not for the party leader. But before they change that, the only person who can become the party presidential candidate is the party leader of that party.
Why I'm saying that Ruth Odinga was referring to the running mate position today, while William Ruto was holding a meeting at the State House with village elders drawn from different parts of the country. Oburu Odinga was among the people who attended, the guests, and Oburu stood and said he is also a worthy competitor to become the running mate of President William Samoei Ruto. And I remember at some point at Coastal, Kilifi meeting, he equally said that hiyo kiti ya naibu rais hiyo ndio tunalenga sana. He said that. So when you combine what Ruth Odinga and what Oburu Odinga said, it can tell you that the Odinga family is not okay with anyone running for that position outside the Odinga family. And that will will make them get out of ODM and join Edwin Sifuna. Never should you ask me why Edwin Sifuna, because I've already explained that. So here she's attacking Wycliffe Ambese Oparanya, attacking Junet Mohammed, attacking the governor Kisii Simba Polarati, because they are the people who have been propagating that position to ODM and also presenting the former Kakamega governor Wycliffe Ambesa Oparanya, who now is the cabinet secretary MSMEs. So when you realize that Ruth Odinga and the Odinga family right now are fighting some of the members of ODM who feel that they can make strategic decisions within the party, that tells you there is trouble somewhere, and now we are losing ODM. Not only losing ODM, but it's gonna be forgotten. It's being buried in the grave of oblivion. That is why I started this analysis by saying that ODM, things are not okay and it's boiling nicely. Things are not okay. And that is the reason why you see this kind of confusion in ODM, whereby today they come out saying this, tomorrow they say that. And we've been listening to many people, including Rigathi Gachagua. Actually, Rigathi Gachagua has been saying it openly that William Ruto bought ODM. And that is why there are a lot of problems in ODM. Another possible man who could be targeted here is the former national chairperson of ODM, John Mbadi. Mbadi is currently holding a position of the cabinet secretary treasury in Kenya. He has been making announcements that right now he is hell-bent to support William Ruto. But when a time comes in 2032, is going to vie for president using ODM. Yet we have Oburu Odinga, who is the party leader. So that is where this the problem is arising from. They feel that if one decides to vie for president using ODM, then he should go back to NDC, change that constitution. However, all the same, you must be a party leader. Why am I saying that ODM is confused than before? Oburu Odinga at some point said he can go for the running mate position. At some point, he equally said that he wants to be the presidential candidate of ODM. Yani watu hatawajielewi. Sometimes, kifo ya Raila, by the way, wherever he is, if at all he can see what is happening here, then he must be very angry. Very, very angry. However, he should be proud because his son, Edwin Sifuna, his student, is now soaring to greater heights. But unfortunately, some of the leaders in ODM, they made sure Edwin Sifuna has been kicked out of ODM. Anyway, I really don't know what you think, but try to comment down there in the comment section. Let us talk, let us discuss, especially on Ruth's message towards the ODM members. So if you are new here, consider subscribing, liking and sharing our content. Hit the notification bell so you can be receiving notifications each and every time we bring you a new content.